So what were my fears when we started thinking about outsourcing? Well, I mean, the main fear really was whether we'd be able to communicate. Start again. The main fear really was whether we'd be able to communicate with the people at the other end. I mean, we'd had some experience, we're quite a small company, we'd had some experience with working with developers in the UK in a local village, effectively. And the thought of going from somebody in the next village to somebody in the next continent was quite daunting. But I think, particularly in the early days when we had a close relation with Vaz, and we realised that the communication was relatively easy, speaking English, and of course they adopt at Providence. They adopt all the technologies that you could need from Skype, and they're always available to talk on the mobile phone. So we had I think communication wasn't the problem we expected, and I think that really was the main problem that we'd worried about beforehand. We'd expected that the cost would be low, and yes, we found that. So we were satisfied in the benefits that we expected, and we didn't have the problems of communication that we feared. The second question is, how smooth was the transition of knowledge? The transition of knowledge, article writing and review, what were your experiences? So that question is about, for GP Notebook, I think, is about writing clinical content for the website. Knowledge article, yeah. So that's not, so I think we've been particularly impressed by the ability of Providence to be able to generate good clinical content for our website. So at GP Notebook, we want to have focused material that's good for general practitioners in the UK. And the staff that Providence has been able to source in the UK seem to be experienced clinical doctors in Sri Lanka, and the quality of the material that they author for our website has been outstanding. And I know that Jim McMorran, who's the main editor on the website, has been really very impressed by the quality of that. So we think that's really, really good value. So the question, how knowledgeable was the management team, and were they able to help your business after outsourcing? If yes, how? Well, I think the management team, the level of Vaz has been really excellent. So we've had good communications, we've been able to discuss things properly, and when there's been problems, Vaz has always been extremely energetic in sorting out problems and sorting out issues. So I have absolutely no complaints, and I think it's a really good first-class service. Question D, how did this decision of selecting Providence as your outsourcing provider help you in saving costs, and was the quality compromised against this cost saving? I think in terms of so the development costs are vastly lower in our experience than in the UK, and not only is it cheaper to develop with Providence, they also work extremely hard. So, we can get in touch with people and they'll turn around jobs really very quickly, much quicker than we found in the UK. Sometimes I think that we need to go to the more senior levels of management to get things, if there's a problem, and sometimes we get a logjam, and sometimes I have to push and escalate an issue a little higher than I'd like sometimes, but generally if I can get, say, Vaz or somebody senior to see what the problem is, they can sort out any log jams we have in development. But I would say it's been a very favourable compromise between the cost of development and we're really very, very impressed with the speed at which they can turn around requests for changes and stuff. So yes, I've been very impressed with that. How good or bad is communication and reporting after transition? I think it's good. So generally the communication has been much better than I expected. It's not always perfect, and sometimes I have to say some of the junior staff don't communicate or grasp onto a problem as well as they could, but once it's escalated to a more senior level, I've been really very impressed. In terms of commitment, I've been extremely impressed by commitment. We've had some difficult problems to sort out on the website, and the level of commitment that I've seen from Vaz and his team has really been far exceeding the level, the service level agreements, and they really, they will keep going back and back to the problem until we're really happy, and I'm really satisfied with that. And final comments. Well, I've found it overall a very positive experience working with Providence. It's been a new. We're a small company, only 2 or 3 people working in the UK, but the ability that they've given us to be able to develop our website further than we could have done ourselves, to be able to have almost a back office in terms of a help desk for the website, in terms of clinical authoring, the stuff that we can do with Providence now is so much better than we could have done for the same amount of money if we did it in the UK. So, yeah, very positive, and thanks to Vaz.